Hello guys, welcome to another section of the A2 Library tutorial series. And we want to actually guide you guys to know the stage, that is exactly where your work has gotten to in the repository. That is the main focus of this particular video. You submit your work and you want to know whether your work is with your supervisor or your work is with DRIPTT for approval or rejection, or your work is with your supervisor. But before we get into the details, I'd like to throw more light on some information that we have over here so that you take note of this. So we have students reaching us that, hey, I have created a IR account and I'm not able to submit my work. So let's take this information. Let's digest it critically. So the first one is saying that this information is from the Directorate of Research and you are supposed to pay key attention to them. Okay. So the first one is saying that the library does not handle issues concerning student institutional mail. So don't come to the library asking of I need my student mail. No, remotely you are supposed to do something. You are supposed to send an email to lmssupport@atu.edu.gh requesting assistance to reset your email account. That is the information that we have, and that is how you are supposed to, or what you are supposed to do in order to have your institutional email reset. Okay, so send mail to this lmssupport@atu.edu.gh requesting assistance to reset your email account. That is institutional email account. Okay. Now, the next one, point 2, students are not to come to the library for IR mapping. Please take note. You are not supposed to walk into this place, that is the university library, to be mapped. No. Now, take note. Everything is done remotely. Faculty reps, take note of this particular section. We are saying that, let me bold it. We are saying faculty reps will only map you when your supervisor has submitted your tenancy report via mail to the faculty rep. So you can create your IR account, but if your supervisor has not submitted your tenancy report to the faculty rep, sorry, you cannot be mapped, meaning you cannot be granted access on the repository to submit your work to your supervisor. All right, now note that you'll be informed by mail when mapped, or your supervisor will be informed. So the moment the faculty rep places you under your supervisor in the repository, you'll be notified. So a faculty rep can notify you via mail or can reach out to your supervisor, informing your supervisor that the files or the report that you submitted to me, I have mapped them. Your supervisor can then send the information across. But note that it is not automatic that the moment you create your institutional repository account, you can proceed to submit your work. No, the faculty rep must map you first. And the faculty rep can only do the mapping unless your supervisor has submitted your report to him or her. Good. Now move on to the next one. Feedback on your approval of work after submission can be gotten from your supervisor or DRIPTT. Now, the submission flow, not actually the flow, like getting your response, is what this video is going to cover. However, mail will be sent to you once your work has been approved or rejected. Take note. So don't be like, I have submitted my work and I don't know the current situation. Now, watch this video. You will be educated. You will actually get to know the stage of your work. That is the main focus of this particular video. Do not come to the library after submission. Now, once your work is approved, proceed to the next stage. What is the next stage? We have a video on our channel, that is the library YouTube channel, that talks about the submission flow. So after work has been approved, then you move to binary. So just watch that particular video to know what to do. Also note that the library is not responsible. It's not responsible for your tenancy report. Your tenancy report is solely coming from your supervisor. Take note of that. Now, having said all these things, we move on to today's discussion. That is tracking the stage or tracking where your work has gotten to. Where your work has gotten to when it comes to the repository. Yes. Okay. All right. So I am going to submit this particular work. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to submit this particular work. You already know the address that you are using for the institutional repository. That's what we have. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. All right. Now, let me share my browser. So, okay. So this is what I have. All right. So, let's move on. Okay. So I am logged in. Yeah. I am logged in, and I'm just going to, in our previous video, we covered how you can submit your work. Yeah, we did that. So let me submit a particular work. I'm going to click on TG/project work, and I'm going to submit this particular work, this one. So I'm going straight to, so you know your department. Yeah, so if it's accountancy and finance, you know your department. I'm going to click on Department of Testing for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to click on Department of Testing. Then now this is my supervisor, Mr. Obedo J. So I'll just go straight to that name. This is my supervisor. I'm going to click on my supervisor's name. Then let's say I am an HND student. So I'm going to click on this. If you're a BTech student, you see BTech over there. So we have HND and that of what BTech. So I'm going to click on this link. Now you only see this particular link, submit a new item to this collection when you have been mapped. So if you are not mapped, you are not going to see this. And if you are not logged in, you are not going to see this. So you are supposed to be mapped and at the same time log in before you see this particular link. Submit a new item to this what? Collection. Okay? All right. So I'm going to click on this particular link. Then I'm going to provide some information over here. So so let me enter this. So you're looking at what we have over here. You can just copy what you have over here as indicated in our first video. Okay, so we have this. So what is the last name? So let's just cut this. We paste it over here because we have more names. So you can just go ahead and put them over here. Okay, all right. Then we have title. We just copy the title. Just copy this. Then we paste it. Other titles, we don't provide anything. So 2024, we have November. So there is 11 citation action, and then we have thesis, we have English. We move on to the next stage. So we don't enter anything over here. We move on to the next stage. We choose a file. Okay, so we choose a file. So I'm gonna choose this. Okay. All right. So there's a file. So choose this. Okay, you don't enter anything over here. You move to next. Then check everything over here is okay. It's intact. The file uploaded. Click on next. Scroll down. Click on grant the license. Then I'm done with my submission. Complete submission. Okay, so all right, fantastic. I am done with my submission. Now, at this stage, your work is with your supervisor. Yes, your work is with your supervisor. Now, check this out. If you want to see that, then we are going to click on, if you want to check the flow where your work has gotten to, once you log in, click on submissions. Okay, now you see what you have over here? Awaiting reviewers what? Attention. Awaiting reviewers what? Attention. It means that the moment you submit your work and it gets to your supervisor, the system changes, or the system gives you an information that your work is with your supervisor. And under supervisor section, we call it what? Reviewers what? Attention. Reviewers what? Attention. Take note of that. When your work is with your supervisor, it is termed as what? Reviewers what? Attention. So after a week, if you check and the system is still showing reviewers attention, then it means your supervisor has not worked on your file as a way of approving or rejecting it. Now, I am going to push this work. I am going to approve this as a supervisor. You are not going to see that interface, but I am just going to approve it at my side. Then now, after the approval, we see the message that will show over here. So when your work is with your supervisor, so let me copy this. Let me add it to this side. So your work with supervisor, we will term it as awaiting reviewers' attention. Now, if your supervisor approves your work, it goes to DRIPTT. So when your work is with DRIPTT, how do we call that? So DRIPTT, let me just, we're going to see that. So I'm going to approve this particular work so that it moves to what? DRIPTT. Okay, sure. Now let me, so I'm going to pick this one and I'm going to approve that. So then I'm going to approve the item. I'm going to approve the item. You are not seeing it, but I'm approving as a lecturer. So I just approved the work. Okay, so let me just go ahead and refresh this particular page. Let me refresh this. Then refresh this. So the work has been approved. So I'm just going to refresh this. So just give me some seconds. Okay, so what do you see over here? You realize that now it has changed from reviewers' attention to what? Editors' what? Attention. It means that if your work is finally approved by your supervisor to DRIPTT, this section changes to what? Editors' what? Attention. So when your work is with DRIPTT, awaiting editors' what? Attention. Now, after some time, you check, it has been 1 or 2 weeks, and it's like you are not getting any response. And you come to submissions and you check, and you are seeing awaiting editors' attention. Please go get feedback from DRIPTT. If you come and check and it's reviewers' attention after months, go to your supervisor and ask for DRIPTT and ask for feedback. Go to your supervisor and ask for feedback when it is reviewers' attention. When it's editor's attention, go to DRIPTT and ask for feedback. Do not come to the library, please, students. Do not come to the library. Now, I'm going to approve the work as someone at DRIPTT. Yes, so I'm going to do the approval. So once the approval is done, just check the message. What you are going to see over here. So I'm going to do the approval. So a minute, you are not going to see that. So just going to do the approval. I am trying to log in. Okay. So the problem, let me check this one. Okay, so all right, so just I'm going to do the approval. All right, so I have logged in using a different session, and you are not going to see that. So I'm just going to do the approval. I'm just going to do the approval. I'm just going to do approval. So just look at what we have over here. So I just log in using a different account, and I'm going to approve this particular work. So just check. Okay, I'm just going to approve this work. All right, the work has been approved. Now I'm going to refresh the page. So I just pause so that you will just take some time to look at what is going on. So I'm just going to refresh the page. I have approved this as someone from DRIPTT. So I'm just going to accept. Then we see the message. So let me refresh. I have already approved the item. Let me refresh this. All right. So you realize that there is a change over here. Now look at this. Archive submissions. These are your completed submissions which have been accepted into the DSPs. At this moment, it means that your work has passed through all the stages from your supervisor to DRIPTT, and finally, your work is in the institutional work repository. The moment you see this, it means you can proceed to print your work for what? Binding. Do you get that? Fantastic. Now, once your work is approved, you are going to receive what? A mail. You are going to receive a mail. So let's check this, and let me go to my inbox. You receive a mail. So even when the mail is delayed, you are going to get all the information over here, please. Yes. So even if the mail is delayed, all right. So you seen that? You seen that? You seen that? Do you see this? Yeah. So submission approved and archived. The same thing applies to when your work is rejected by your supervisor or from DRIPTT. The moment your work is rejected, you receive message in your mail that your work has been what? Rejected. Please, the tracking of your work can be done remotely. You have a dashboard over here to take note of all the information. Do not come to the library asking the state of your work. Do not come to the library complaining that you have submitted your work to your supervisor and you've not heard anything. Whether your work is with your supervisor or whether the work is with DRIPTT, please, you can see it here when you log in. This section represents your dashboard. Okay, so this is just a short tutorial educating students to know where their work currently is. Is it with your supervisor or is with DRIPTT? Thank you for watching this section of ATU Library tutorial series. Remember to subscribe to the channel, click on notification. We have more videos for you guys. Bye.